Hi everyone, my name's Nick, and welcome back to another episode of That Diabetes Guy. Today's episode is going to be a product review. We're going to review the new or newer Medtronic MiniMed Mio Advance, so stay tuned. I want to let everyone know that this product review is my personal opinion and is not being sponsored by Medtronic. Here it is, a 10-pack of MiniMed Mio Advance infusion sets. So one thing I like to start off with is the instructions. I'm more of a visual learner, so my tip to you, if you are as well, is actually pull off the beginning of the instructions here, because they basically show you all the steps without adding all the extra words. So one big pet peeve is how much paper we waste, and it's got 23 different languages in this instruction manual, and I understand that they're probably working out of one distributor and they want to be able to create a package that can ship anywhere in the world. If we can improve upon anyway, that'd be great, because it's a lot of paper. Let's get one out, and here's our individual infusion set. It's a little bit different packaging than the previous Mios. If you're not familiar with the previous Mios, they do come in a package of 10, but these are kind of individual units that are self-inserters as well. And the newer Mio Advances kind of have a little bit more bigger packaging, and it's a little flimsy, but there's nothing inside here that you could crush and really damage per se. It would take a lot of force to do that. As far as maybe transporting, it might be a little bit more clunky to have in your grab-and-go bag of backup supplies compared to the previous Mios, but there are some huge advantages that I think we should talk about. All right, we're going to open it up, and we have our one inserter and our tubing. One of the things I noticed right off the bat opening the package is that the disconnect cover is included with each infusion set. And it's got a dual purpose. So it acts as a safety latch so that you don't accidentally fire the infusion set before you're ready. Whereas the previous Mios had a box of 10 and they kind of just threw in a 2-pack of these safety covers. The light blue Mio that I have now is actually the 6mm cannula, and the cord length is 23 inches. And this was the only one available at my supply company that I could order. I did see in the instructions that there was a 9mm option, but I don't think it's currently available at this time, or maybe it's only at select distributors. An interesting find though is that the infusion set, after you insert it and you primed out all the tubing and you connect, and the last step is to do the cannula prime, just to kind of get rid of that little airspace where the needle was removed. It's 0.6 for each infusion set of these. So whether it's a 6mm or 9mm, the instructions say it's 0.6. Whereas the old model for the Mios, the 6mm was a 0.3 fill and the 9mm was a 0.5 fill. So if you're intending on switching to the new Mio Advance, or maybe you already have, you might want to look at your cannula fill, because you might be shorting yourself with the new 0.6 fill. I'm not going to go through the whole process of starting a new infusion set. I think this should be pretty familiar to anybody who's using these. I'm just going to go over the distinct advantages, what I think about the Mio Advance. And here's my fake dummy skin here. And to really start this process of inserting the infusion set, all you need to do is remove the paper on the bottom, and we have a little bunny ear rabbit tab here so you can easily grab it, and it just uncoils. Now, the older Mios, it's kind of like a honey bun where you gotta uncoil it a few times. This is just kind of like one big honey bun. It just comes off really easy, and it's not like little strands. So I kind of find that was nice. The tape is very similar to the previous Mios. I didn't have any difficulty with wearing it for up to 3 days. I didn't have any new skin reactions, so I felt it was pretty comparable to the previous Mios. But we have the tape exposed, and we'd select our site, we'd prep it how we normally prep it, and we are going to attach it. And it has a good firm base, and it's strong enough to where if it was like on your side of your body, it could actually latch on pretty good. And giving it 5 to 10 seconds maybe for your body warmth to kind of heat up the tape residue, it'll just kind of promote better adhesion. But when we're ready, we would remove that safety clip that we talked about. And I think it's pretty straightforward. You just kind of hit the white button and we just inserted the infusion set. And we pull straight away and we're done. And it's cleanly inserted. We could take our finger and do the traditional circle around the cannula site and we are attached. One thing that's great about the Mio Advance is it actually has an arrow system on the back, and you don't have to guess where the cord or the tubing is going to be connected. You could just kind of follow the arrow. So if you know that you want your infusion set to be kind of facing towards your pocket like I do usually, I would just note that before I insert it and attach it, I'm going to look for the arrows on the back. Hopefully you can see that. I don't know if you can. Point the arrows to whatever direction you want the tubing to face. Overall, Medtronic did a great job. The Mio Advance is easy to use. It's hard to mess this up, really. You don't have to see the needle. The needle kind of locks up after you insert it into the base of the inserter, kind of acts as its own sharps container, which is nice. The changes just make sense. It's really intuitive to use. So if you're using the previous model, like the Mios or the quick sets for your Medtronic pump, you might want to consider trying out, if you got coverage, for the Mio Advance, which I found it was just a matter of calling my durable medical company and just asking for a new script, and then they kind of work on all the changes on the back end. So I thought it was a pretty easy conversion, and I'm really happy. You know, it kind of limits my ability to mess things up like I'm known to do. So hopefully that means less interruptions with insulin delivery. All right. I gotta share this. I can't publish this video without sharing this. This was not, it just happened, and it's actually pretty cool. And I didn't know anything about this feature. So the Mio Advance has a cool feature that I don't think they've advertised really. I don't know if they're probably not allowed to advertise it, or if this was even considered in the design, which I think it is. Give credit to the designers if they really meant to do this. So what happened was I dropped off a friend who needed to go and have surgery. And when I got out of my car today, my pump was stuck between the console and my seat. And I was stepping out of the car, and if you know anything about it, you know, usually your whole set just rips out of your body. But it didn't happen that way. It actually just disconnected. So I never really looked at the design of the connection here. It is a little bit different from the previous Mios, but at certain, like a pounds per force, it separates. This saved me from changing out my infusion set right then and there this morning. How cool is that? Now, will that happen every time? Probably not. I'm sure if the tape starts to loosen up, you know, that force will, you know, just pull out the whole set from your body. But, you know, an hour and a half ago, this happened, and I've been watching my blood sugars. My set's still good. You know, I still am getting my insulin, my basal rates, and I didn't have to waste another infusion set. Like, that's awesome. And I thought, you know, out of the 15 plus years I've had a pump, maybe it just happened today. I didn't click it in all the way. You know, it is something new. Maybe I just didn't pick up on it. So I pulled out my old Mios, and I'm holding on the plastic here, and I'm trying to rip this off, and I'm literally stretching. Oh, I'm really stretching it out. It won't disconnect. So this connection is very secure, and if you tug on it, guess what? It's popping out of you. But now I have an opportunity that, you know, if it gets caught somewhere, it just disconnects right at the connector. That's all I got. That was my short product review video. If you really enjoyed what you watched, please consider subscribing, maybe liking, sharing with friends or family or anybody who can enjoy it. And until next time, take care.